Bread. For thousands of years, people across the globe have eaten bread. But what do we really know about this strange substance that we consume on such a regular basis?
Recent findings from studies occurring for several decades have shown that this bread may not be as good as we assume it to be. People of all ages in the UK have and do consume bread. Parents feed it to their children. Everywhere you go, bread-based products can be found being sold to the general public as apparently safe consumables.
You can have it on its own, as toast, in a pudding, in combination with many other foodstuffs, sandwiches, rolls, baps. Food with this much diversity cannot be good.
Are you saying people should not eat bread?
I wouldn't recommend it. I don't have the information to tell you, but it's not natural. It can't be that good for you.
Every day, for at least one meal, we in Britain will consume bread in one form or another, and we are constantly being reassured of its necessity in our diet. This UK television commercial for bread reinforces claims of the benefits to our health of consuming this substance. But is it really true?
Well, it's really rather difficult to tell. Bread companies not going to admit fault and tell us the problems that they do have with their products. The market is ruthless and they can't afford to lose money. But we mustn't forget that before correct studies were carried out, people believed and even spread the message that cigarettes were fine and even beneficial to health. Of course, we now know that cigarettes are a major contributor to cancer development, which is a major cause of death in most developed countries. Now, I'm not saying that bread could give you cancer, but I mean people thought that Sunny Delight was fine till that poor child turned orange. I think that we should stop selling and eating bread so further tests can be carried out before any bread-based atrocities can occur.
Recent research into the contents of bread heralded some interesting results.
Yes, well, it was found that bread contained a number of harmful substances such as yeast. Yeast is a common ingredient in many bread-related products, but is an opportunistic pathogen and can cause many infections in human beings. Yeast also produces ethanol, which in concentrated doses can cause death or severe liver damage. Ingestion over time can also cause these effects. Ethanol also has depressant characteristics and has been found in highly addictive substances. Yeast is a fungus and as such is not generally a nice thing. Fungal infections are particularly nasty, and anything to do with fungus is usually destroyed or thrown away, certainly not eaten.
Yeast is also found in other bad substances, such as the predictably named yeast extract, a substance closely related to MSG, which also has debatable detrimental effects. Yeast extract causes a gagging reflex in most humans, a natural defense against ingesting undesirable materials. Yeast is also found in alcoholic beverages, which are also found to contain ethanol.
Alcohol is renowned for having considerable bad effects upon the human body. Slowed reactions, damages and changes in cell function, particularly in the brain, cirrhosis and other liver diseases. Similarities between alcohol and bread can quite reasonably show a link between the detrimental effects of consuming alcohol and eating bread.
Bread has also been found to be a highly addictive substance. In 2001, a study was conducted which found those who ate bread to be highly dependent upon it.
Well, we carried out an experiment where by 10 test subjects were placed in isolated rooms and given only water to eat. Our study showed that within a few days the subjects began to beg for bread. This kind of addiction is mirrored in other harmful substances such as nicotine, which is found in cigarettes and heroin.
Bread has also been linked to crime and criminal activity. A study conducted last year throughout British prisons found that all incarcerated persons had eaten bread at least once in their lives, and a large percentage admitted to eating bread in some form on a fairly regular basis.
Yes, studies have shown that most crimes, not just in the UK, have been committed within 24 hours of a bread consumption.
Bread has also been known to lead users onto other shady foodstuffs, such as the dreaded yeast extract, as well as jams, preservatives and butters. Should we really be feeding this stuff to our children? A little known fact about bread is that a newborn infant can choke to death from this apparently safe substance. And statistics show that a major percentage of children in bread-eating households score below average on standardized tests.
Would you feed your children bread? Of course I think I could afford something better in it, but my dough ain't too high in that. It's cheap in it. You get your fill off that. But research has shown that it can be detrimental to your health. You what? Have you ever eaten bread? All my life, boss, all my life. It's bad for your health. It's what makes you mental. It's detrimental, yes. Oh, well, if it makes you mental, then best not buy no more, innit? So you think they should ban it? Yeah, if it's going to be making you ill in that, then yeah, innit, ban it. Ban it, yeah. Bread is highly absorbent also, an ability that could prove dangerous.
Bread can absorb water quite easily and in quite a consistency, with the human body being 90% water. One can assume that overconsumption could lead to absorption of vital bodily fluids and possible taking over of the body and creating some sort of gooey bread monster.
The production of bread is also thought to have ill effects. Baking bread requires temperatures up to and over 400 degrees Fahrenheit. These temperatures could kill an adult human being in mere minutes. Also, back in the 18th century, when bread making in the home was commonplace, the average life expectancy was less than 50. There were high rates of infant mortalities and deaths during childbirth, and various diseases including typhoid, influenza and yellow fever were rife amongst populations worldwide.
So there we have it. Bread. Not to be taken lightly. As evidence clearly shows, it may not be as good for us as we are led to believe.